and welcome to Alpha Militaria TV. My name is Richard Saunders. Thanks very much for tuning in once again and seeing what we're up to. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is simply to subscribe. And if you like what you see, to hit the like button as well. But you can also buy us a coffee. The details are down below. Now, the rifle we have on the bench today is from Turkish company Reximex. It is the Reximex Accura. Now, Reximex was formed around about 2015, I believe. And they've really put out some quite interesting mid-price, good quality rifles. So we're going to have a look at the Accura and see if that continues the trend. What we'll do is we'll start at the back, work our way through. Then we'll go through some of the features in close-up. Then we'll talk about the whole pellet loading, magazine installing process and air filling process. And then we'll go down the range and see how it shoots. So the Reximex Accura is definitely an adult size rifle. It's not excessively big or excessively heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but it is adult size. It's 1,110 millimeters long without a silencer, and it weighs 3.5 kilos without a scope on it. So full size, but not excessively so. Now, if you've spent any time with Krau rifles or Turkish rifles generally, you will be familiar with some of the components on this rifle, because they are the same or very, very similar to some of the components on Krau rifles. So there obviously is some kind of link up there somewhere. But now I'm a big fan of Krau rifles, but I kind of liken the relationship between Krau and Reximex as a little bit like Toyota and Lexus. Now, on the one hand, you have the Krau rifles. There's lots of them, mid-range, very reliable, great value for money. And then you have the Reximex, which is the sort of the next level up in terms of quality and finish. Yeah, a little bit like the Lexus. It makes sense to me anyway. Now then, to work through the rifle from back to front, first of all, we should talk about the stock. The stock is very obviously a black polymer or black plastic. It's very good quality though. It doesn't sound hollow or anything like that. Really nice and solid. And you can see a seam mark, a moulding mark, just at various different points on the rifle. But it's finished off really nicely. There's no sharp edges or burrs on it at all. It is quite a nice plastic stock. Now at the back, you have, by pushing a little button, you can move this solid rubber shoulder pad in and out to extend the pull. And then also with a screw down here, you can adjust the height of this comb up here, which is good. So you're going to get perfect eye alignment and shoulder fit with this rifle. There's a large cutout here for people with even the biggest hands to use this quite comfortably. And the pistol grip is quite steep, but it's nicely swollen. It fits your palm really nicely. There's no finger contours on it, but it's very comfortable. And it has patches of stippling on both sides of it. Now, forward of that is the trigger. Now, it's a match style trigger, so it's a post and shoe. And Reximex say that it is four-way adjustable. Now, I think by that they mean that you can adjust the two stages, and then you can also adjust the height and angle of the shoe to set it up just so for you. Just back of that is the safety catch. It's a crossbolt system. Operates very, very definitely. You push it from the right through to the left to make the rifle live, and there's an F on this left-hand side, and the bolt has a little red O-ring on it to let you know that it's live. And then when you want to make it safe, you push it through left to right, and there's an S up here, and the rifle is safe. And now I like that because it's very positive. You can actually operate it silently if you want to, if you're out hunting. And it's nice and far away from the trigger itself. Now, just up here, you can see there is a power dial. Now, fully down is sort of at the lower setting, and then it's graduated up to the higher setting at the top here. So this is a 12 foot-pound rifle. So, and I think that most people with a 12 foot-pound rifle are going to keep that lever right up to the top. Obviously, with an FAC rifle, you've got more scope in terms of power. There's a bigger power band to work with. But 12 foot-pounds, I think most people are going to put it to the top and leave it there. Yeah, it is handy if you're going to shoot in the garden, or you've got to do some very close-up pest control in a barn or something, I guess. Now, back from that is the side lever. It's sprung for the first stage, and then you pull it back a second stage. Putting it back cocks the rifle, then as you push it forward, this probe goes through the magazine and loads a pellet into the breech. Now we'll show you the magazines later, and they are the kind of the Kral Turkish design cartridge magazines. You get 2 of them. Takes 12 shots in 2.2 and 14 in 1.77. Now on top you have a sort of a dual rail. Don't know if that's the right term, but it's a rail that you can either fit your scope on using Picatinny mounts, 22mm Picatinny mounts, or you can also use 9-11 dovetail mounts. Really nice setup that. It's split in 2 halves either side of the breech. And I'm surprised, to be honest, that more manufacturers haven't gone for it. Who knows, perhaps they will in the future. Now the fore end is nice and long. You get more stippling here, and it kind of almost acts as like a shoe to hold in place this 425cc metal air bottle. Now I've been down on the range and I've shot with this quite a bit, and you know, I've got it to 200 and something shots and kind of lost the will to live, to be honest. So I haven't got an actual exact shot figure for you, but you know, it's north of 200. There's lots of shots in there. And then just forward of that, there's like a sort of a barrel band come bottle support here, which just kind of finishes things off, holds the bottle in place, makes that nice and secure. The barrel itself is shrouded, and I must admit, I initially thought that this barrel cap on the end here, this thread protector here, revealed a 1/2" UNF thread. It doesn't, in actual fact. So if you're going to want to run a silencer on this, then you're going to have to invest in some kind of adapter, and we'll try and find out some more details of that and put them in the notes below. And then finally, on the underside of the rifle, you have the, where are we? There's quite deeply recessed in here. You have the pressure gauge, and then the fill valve is just forward of it. Now the rifle says it will take a 250 bar fill. I've been filling up to about 230, 235, and as I say, I've been getting north of 200 shots in it. So I think those are all the key features. Oh, one final thing, you do get a couple of sling studs underneath here for you to put a sling swivel in. There's also a little bit of a slot here if you want to put a strap on the rifle, you can do that. And then I should also say that you get a little pack of goodies with the rifle. There's a couple of magazines in there, a single shot tray, and there's also a little Picatinny rail that you can attach underneath here if you want to put, if you want to attach a bipod or a sling without using the sling stud. And obviously you get a fill adapter as well. So with that, what we're going to do is now we're going to zoom in on some of these features in more close-up. Now, if you've used a Kral rifle or any other Turkish rifle, you're probably going to be familiar with this magazine. It's a cartridge magazine, and so you get 2 of them in your pack. It consists of this main part, which is the black body of the magazine here, and then this clear plastic faceplate. Now, to load it, hopefully you can see up here there's a little arrow on the faceplate, and that's indicating that you have to rotate that faceplate as far as it will go clockwise, and then just hold it in place. If you let go for whatever reason, it will spring back again. So basically what you're doing is you're loading the coil, the spring inside that magazine. Now once you've done that, say hold it in place, now you want to put your finger underneath the first hole at the back here. You can see there's a hole, just put your finger behind that, and then for that first chamber, Just drop the pellet in nose first, and then once you've done that, that will hold that spring in place now. And from then on, it's just a case of rotating the faceplate back anti-clockwise and dropping pellets in one at a time as you go. Now, this is a 2.2 rifle, so this one takes 12 shots in 2.2, and the 177 takes 14 shots. And what's good about the design of the magazine and the rifle is that when you have taken your last shot, the rifle will let you pull back the side lever, but it will block it from going back in again. Basically, the magazine shuts off the probe. So that will tell you that you're empty, that you need to fill up, and you're not going to waste any air. So once you've filled up all the chambers, return that faceplate to the up position, and then we'll show you how to install it into the breech. Now, it seems like the magazines are installed differently into just about every single rifle, and there is a little bit of a knack with the Reximex, but it's not too bad by any stretch of the imagination. First job is to put the rifle on safe, so put the safety catch on, and then pull back the side lever. Now, you're going to want to put the magazine in with the clear faceplate facing you, and you're going to want to put it in round end first, and then hopefully at the bottom here you can see this section here. Where are we? This section here is flat, so that's got to align with the bottom of the breech. So it's just a case of putting that in, ensuring that that flat part is level with the bottom of the breech, and then pushing it in all the way, and then returning the side lever. Now, in amongst your pack of spares and goodies is a fill adapter, which is this gold item here. Now, obviously, ordinarily, you would attach this end to an airline, be that from a bottle or a stirrup pump or a compressor. And hopefully you can see that it's sprung on this first part here. Now, the fill valve itself is actually on the underside of the rifle. There's a nice big recess here, and the valve is just there right next to the air pressure gauge. Now, what you'll need to do is just take your probe, push that straight onto the valve until that collar locks, give it a tug to make sure it's on there nice and firm, and then give the rifle, I've been giving it a 230 bar fill, but Reximex say it will go up to 250 bar, but I found 230 gave me the best results straight away. Then once you've done that, obviously bleed off the air from your airline, then slide that collar up, and the adapter just pings off. Well, that's the Reximex Accura, a quick rundown on the key features. What we'll do now is we'll pop it in the car, go down the range, and see how it shoots. So as promised, I've come down to Reading Air Target Shooting Club to put the Reximex Accura through its paces. Now, I set a target out at my usual distance of 30 metres, and again, as usual, I'm using Air Arms Diablo Fill pellets, 2.2 calibre. These are the 5.52mm size. So let's see how it shoots. Well, that's all 12 shots. Let's go and see how we got on. That's not too bad. That was the very first shot, and I think I pulled that one left. Those are sort of tears. I would say that's probably 11 shots within just over a fingernail at 30 meters. Now, one thing I did find with the Reximex Accura was that the more I've shot it, the better it's got in terms of accuracy. So I think there is a bedding in process to go through, but that's not too bad at all. So that's our review of the Reximex Accura, or Accura, whichever way you pronounce it. It's a really solid little gun, this. Really like this. Lots of adjustment in the stock. This plastic stock is very, very durable, very well made as well. And the overall rifle is nice and solid. Good shot count as well. Now, one thing, as I said before, one thing I did find was that the more I shot this rifle, the tighter the groups became. Obviously, there's a settling in and bedding in process that the rifle has to go through. And I'm not talking thousands of shots. I'm talking, I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred shots or something. I found that there's a real improvement in terms of the consistency as well. Now, over the chronograph, this is putting out 10.97 foot-pounds, which is great. That's with 16 grain pellets, means that you could take this pest controlling out to normal air gunning ranges without any qualms whatsoever. And in terms of consistency, over a 10-shot string, the variance was 14 feet per second, which is great as well. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check out our website, alphamilitaria.com. Thanks for watching.